Guys, welcome back to the OCD Recovery channel. I am indeed Momin, and I hope you guys have been doing well. Thank you for being here again. If you've been liking our videos, please subscribe to our channel. If you haven't liked this video, give us some comments, give us some feedback. Let us know if this video is helpful. Let us know if you want to hear about specific topics from me as well, or if you think I should touch upon something that I haven't touched upon in any of my videos, I can try to cover that. Or if you think that you want my take on a topic that maybe like Nick has done or some other person on the channel, Kirsty has done, or so I can do that as well. So anyway, glad you guys are here and watching this video, whoever is watching right now. I wanted to talk about something that was recently I was talking to someone in one of our WhatsApp groups, and it kind of reminded me of my own journey as well and things that I had experienced. It's about losing interest and joy in life or activities in life that you used to find enjoyable, and slowly you start to feel like you don't feel as invested anymore. So that's what I want to touch upon and maybe give some advice and also just talk about what I experienced with it as well. So I think with like OCD, anxiety recovery, or like general, I think your mental health journey, there might be points where you start to feel like your emotions are starting to like dull a bit, and they you don't feel them as intensely anymore. You kind of feel like you're losing the passion and enthusiasm you kind of had for doing things, and things that used to make you feel happy don't make you feel happy anymore, and you kind of begin to go about every day just because. I mean, you get up and you brush your teeth just because you have to. You go to work just because. It's part of the routine, so you have to. You meet your friends in the night for dinner or like over the weekend or something because, it's something planned. So hey, why not? So everything becomes kind of like, sure, why not? Let's do this. It's almost like this disinterested position that you develop, and it's kind of like an indifference as well. It's not. I won't say it's complete emotionlessness because you kind of feel the emotion, but it's not quite there. So you kind of just feel blank and very blah. I think that's the best word that I found to describe this. It's a very blah feeling. Like you're like, sure, okay. Also, again, this happened to me in one of my previous videos because today is the day that I shampooed my hair. It's a bit like fuzzy, but hey, I can be okay with that. Yeah, so everything in life, your activities you do and things that you do is just okay. There's kind of this listlessness that you experience, and you stop finding joy in, for example, music or going out, or like if you do art of any form or kind, you don't find that enjoyable. I used to love reading books. Not even just reading books. I loved going to a bookstore and browsing books and looking at books and buying books. That used to give me a lot of joy, and it was kind of my happy place. And I stopped enjoying that. I did not enjoy that anymore. In fact, I used to go to a bookstore with the expectation that okay, I'm going there because Momin likes books or Momin likes to browse a bookstore, and I to find that spark in me or to experience that spark in me, I would go to the bookstore and I would just walk out of there underwhelmed. Even if I bought a book, it would be like, yeah. I mean, it was that like dead, yeah. And it wasn't like, yeah, I'm so excited, I'm going to open this and, start reading the book when I go home. Anyway, um, and also even the activities that you do enjoy, whether it's reading or watching a movie or listening to music or dancing or going out with your friends, if it's a sport, any kind of activity that you enjoy doing, it's also what often starts to happen is that you might begin to do it, you might start at it, but somewhere in the middle, after a few minutes, you kind of think, why am I even doing this? Because I'm not really experiencing any joy doing this. I don't feel as passionate about it. Maybe maybe this is something of the past that I used to enjoy doing this, but now I don't anymore. Why am I forcing this? I'm just, I don't feel any joy. I don't feel happy. I don't feel like giddy making this painting, maybe. So, I mean, what's the point? So there, that used to be my thought process. In fact, I think this is how it started for me. It went on to just become like being emotionally and mentally numb in a way. Sorry, I just hit my notebook that has my notes for this video. So I just kind of became quite numb about it. I did not quite enjoy anything anymore. I did not feel emotions anymore at some point. It wasn't the worst thing ever in life. It was just kind of blahness into multiplied by 5. But yeah, I think as OCD sufferers or anxiety sufferers, we also kind of become unintentionally, we kind of become observers and noticers of our feelings and our anxiety levels and thoughts. We are constantly like, somewhere in the back of our mind, we are constantly observing and noticing how we are feeling, what our levels of happiness are, sadness are, anger are, hurt are, like all those kind of things. And when we start to experience less joy or interest in activities, it becomes very obvious to us. It becomes naturally very obvious to us because our brain just picks up on it, because it's been trying to analyze our feelings and thoughts so much for so long that when it actually does, when it's absent, it picks up on it immediately. So what that starts to do is, then, because you are constantly searching for that happy feeling, because you're constantly searching for that joy and expecting that intense interest or like vivid kind of passion in yourself that you used to experience, it almost becomes a prerequisite to doing an activity. Then it becomes a necessity for you to experience internally, for you to think, okay, because I experience this, because I am driven and motivated to do this today, I'm going to sit down and read 2 chapters of that novella that I had, on my shelf for so long. Or today I'm going to go out and play volleyball for an hour with my friends. And I mean, you feel like you need the motivation and that emotion and that drive and passion to do that thing, and not just to start doing that thing, but also you also begin to think that you need to sustain that feeling the throughout the process of doing that activity. So for example, if you suddenly feel driven and motivated and like very eager to let's say make a painting, right? You will think that, okay, so for the 1 hour I have taken out of my day to make this painting, for that 1 hour I should consistently and constantly feel that high level of joy and giddiness and passion and happiness and all those nice kind of emotions and motivation. I need to feel them throughout. And if I don't feel that throughout, that means I have kind of lost interest and I'm not as, passionate about this thing that I used to be passionate about. So, and that's where we go wrong, where we make it a prerequisite, where we make it a necessity, where we think that we need this feeling, or that feeling must exist for us to perform that certain action or perform that certain activity or go to that certain like place or meet a certain person or any of those kind of things. This is true for even like our OCD folks, where they feel like they need a certain emotion to spend time with someone, to spend time with the person they love. So so there is, let me think about this. Let me think about my words. So there is no certain way that you can force that feeling inside of you. There's no way that you can create that motivation and that joy and happiness and interest in you to do that thing, right? But what you can do is that you can, at least in a physical capacity, again, let's say it's about reading a book, let's say, right? So if you have read a page and on the second page you start to feel just not that interested in the book anymore. Instead of closing the book and thinking, hey, you know what, I mean, what's the point of doing this? I don't feel as engaged with this. Continue reading the book, even if you feel uncomfortable, even if you feel a bit demotivated or uninterested in it. Continue to do that, because that is the only way that you can start to retrain your brain and reconfigure something in your brain that about not making good, happy, motivational feelings to be a requirement. You can show yourself, but you can demonstrate to your brain and your nervous system that you can continue to do activities, you can continue to go about your day, you can continue to do things that, at least in theory, you are passionate about and you like doing or you liked doing. You can do them even when you're uncomfortable, or when you lack a certain kind of interest, or if you lack a certain kind of passion for them. You don't need that zest for life to do every single thing every single day. You go to your job every day and you might like your job, you might even like the field that you're in, you like the people that you work with, but you don't feel as enthusiastic and very jolly about it every single day. You don't wake up and you start to sing a song at the top of your lungs and say that, oh my god, I'm going to work and this is going to be the best day ever. No, I mean, some days you're like, I mean, today I have to go to work again, I have to do this task again, I have to meet my colleague again and, you know, say hi to them. You don't feel as enthusiastic about that sometimes, but you still do that anyway. And the same for like everyday activities like eating doesn't, like, filling your hungry stomach does not give you joy every single day. Sometimes you just do it because, I mean, you just have to. Right? So, I mean, you can look at other activities in your life that you generally might enjoy, but also see that you don't really feel happy about them every single time that you do them. So, that's not a requirement to have to complete that activity. You can just do them anyway as well. Um, so, I think it sounds very, obviously, it sounds very simple, because in the moment you just in the moment you feel so disengaged from that activity or from your surroundings that you don't feel like you even have the energy or the concentration to even continue a single bit. But trust me, you can do that. You can put in a little bit more effort to continue and stretch the time that you spend. So, for example, initially, if you um, if you are reading a book, let's say again, if you're on the second page and you start to feel demotivated, at least complete the second page and maybe close the book on the third page. Then the next time that you pick it up, maybe you can just go on till the third page, and maybe you start to lose motivation in the fourth page, and then you close. I mean, obviously you can build up to it. I'm not saying that, you know what, force yourself to sit down and complete the entire 25 pages of that chapter, and that's the only way that you can retrain your brain. No, you can build on it incrementally, slowly but surely and gradually. You can build on it, and that goes for any kind of activity that you're passionate about, any kind of sport, any kind of art, any kind of hobby that you have, or even like spending time with your partner or loved one. Like, if those emotions are not there, that's okay. You can still be with them, even if some fears or intrusive thoughts or any discomfort exists over there. um, don't think, because if you start to immediately put things away in a box, and if you start to box up your hobbies, your passions, your likings, anything that you love doing in life, I mean, trust me, they will remain there in the corner. Like, they will not seek. I mean, one fine day just come back into your life and suddenly you will take those things up again. Those might you might be like risking, in fact, just, I don't know, keeping them in the dead zone, in the dormant zone. They remain dormant. They don't wake up, and you just kind of stop doing those things that you used to enjoy doing. Um, and I genuinely do feel like that's kind of sad. I felt sad for myself as well when I stopped doing things that I used to enjoy doing. When I made like happiness and joy and all those happy, nice feelings to be a requirement, and slowly but surely I started to make myself do those things even when I wasn't feeling great. And that's when I realized that, hey, you know what, I actually don't need to feel happy to do something. And somehow that broke that cycle of constantly not feeling interested and motivated anymore. I kind of started to develop and started to like doing those activities again. So ever since, I would say, I have made this big leap in anxiety and OCD recovery. I have started to read articles again. I've had the concentration span to like read books, concentration span to listen to an album start to finish and enjoy it, go for cycling, go for walks, spend time with my friends. It's not just, yeah, sure, anyway, let's do it. I mean, what's the point? But hey, you know what? Let's do it. It's not, I mean, I've lost that zombiness about myself. And I'm really happy that I started to do those things again because I genuinely do value these like hobbies and passions that I have in my life, and not pursuing them or not incorporating them into my routine was making me sad because I used to think, and I started to feel like, oh, this is something of the past, but it wasn't. I was making it something of the past. I was boxing those things up and keeping them to the side because I thought that, hey, you know what, because I don't feel any interest when I do them, so that means that, I mean, I shouldn't force myself to do them. I mean, so let's abandon them. So, and that didn't help. That really didn't help. And now I've actually even, to be honest, started to discover some new interests as well. So I recently got my room painted. So this is a new color that's on there. I got a new lamp. I got two new lamps, one here and one there. What else? There's a big new mirror in my room, and I mean, I've spruced up my room a little bit, and I mean, not I did it because I kind of discovered that I liked doing it. I mean, I enjoyed selecting things for my room, the paint, the lamps, the mats, the mirror, the wood for the mirror, like all these different kind of little things. I started to discover new things about myself, and I guess, I mean, I owe that to myself for doing anxiety and OCD recovery, because if I hadn't, I may not have like unboxed this little new like interest in me. I might have just let my room be and just be like, hey, you know what, someone else can select it for me. This, I mean, yeah, sure, we can get this lamp. Why not? I mean, no, I was very like particular about, okay, I want this lamp. I want this kind of lighting in my room. I want this kind of carpet in my room. So yeah, I mean, who knows? Like by incorporating these things back into your routine and your life and continuing with them despite not like feeling the best about them, you might even unlock some new kind of interest in your life, and they might give you a new kind of passion and motivation in life. And I mean, I'm not saying this will happen overnight. I mean, you might still experience dull emotions and tapered down emotions for like a year or something. But because obviously it took me quite a lot of time as well, but eventually I think you'll get there. Eventually you will start to see that there are cracks in that, layer of stone, that stone heartedness that you're kind of developing. Not stone heartedness, but like kind of this, this like deadness about that you are developing. You kind of start to feel that cracking open, and you really genuinely do start to enjoy doing things again, and you start to like your surroundings, and you look forward to doing things then. And your creative juices and motivation and drive, all of those things start to come back a bit again. So yeah, that was my little video. I want to touch, not little, I mean, it's still 20. I need to learn how to be concise, but it's okay if I'm not. I'm a work in progress. So anyway, yeah, I hope you found this somewhat relatable because it can help to hear someone talk about things that you experience. And yeah, I mean, I'm here to talk in the comments as well, so feel free to ask questions, and I'll see you in another video very, very soon. Bye bye.